Today I'm going to share with you something that happened with me when I was doing my online consultations. I had 3 patients today, all of whom came to me with anxiety. 3 people from different parts of the world with very different life stories, all sharing the same complaints. It made me realize how both common anxiety is and also how different it can look in different people. So today's video is not really going to be on the technical or the neuroscientific or the neurochemical basis of anxiety. We have covered that before. I want to talk to you from a more personal sense. Anxiety is like a fire alarm. It is an ancient system that has been developed by the brain in order to warn us that something is wrong in the environment. It is a very useful alarm system that has developed over millions of years. Today we are all here, we are all alive because of that alarm system. Anxiety itself is not the issue. So then what is? Imagine if your house has a fire alarm and there is a fire and the alarm goes off, and because the alarm goes off, the fire engines come on their way, the fire gets sorted and your house is safe. What if the alarm goes on and on and on even after the fire has been doused? What if the alarm is now so loud and so insistent that you are not able to do any work? You're not able to focus on your job, on your career, on your family, on your kids, on yourself, because that alarm is constantly ringing. So now the fire alarm itself becomes more of a problem than the fire. This for me is the essential story of anxiety. Anxiety as a defense response is very useful, but anxiety as an uncontrolled defensive mechanism for all imaginary or perceived threat becomes anxiety disorder. For me, this is the first step in both understanding and recovering from anxiety. So if you or anyone you know suffer from this, then I hope that this first step helps you. Which then brings us to step 2, which is understanding what can trigger anxiety. It could be something going wrong in your relationship, it could be something at work, it could be something very personal, it could be meeting new people or going to a new place. So if you look at all of these reasons, in my view, there is a common thread that connects all of it, which is loss of control. And that is what brings us to a deeper understanding of how our brain perceives the environment. Our brain loves order and predictability. We would love to have the power of predicting exactly what will happen when, where, and how, because we feel that that gives us a greater chance of survival. The ability to predict correctly is associated with the reward. So whenever you predict the outcome of something correctly, your brain gives you a dopamine kick. So you feel happy. The same thing that gives us pleasure also can give you a negative feedback if you fail. So if predicting correctly can give you pleasure, then predicting incorrectly gives you anxiety or gives you pain. Imagine that you are in a chaotic situation. You don't know what will happen where. This, in your primitive monkey brain, increases the chances of you dying. This is the reason why your brain does not like chaos. Now, the interesting thing is that not every human being is the same. So what is chaos to one person may not be chaos to another. This understanding is extremely important to be both empathetic towards other people who are going through anxiety and to be empathetic towards yourself when you go through anxiety, because very often we compare our level of control to those around us and we feel that we are failing. And that brings me to the final point of what I would like to talk about today, which is this realization that I had about how we are essentially 2 people. We have a prefrontal version of ourselves, the version where we are rational, logical, calm, thinking about things clearly. There is another part of you, which is the limbic you, which is the emotional, primitive, defensive, focused on your survival you. And that is the part where anxiety comes in. Somebody who has suffered or is suffering from anxiety will know that there are moments in their own lives when they are feeling anxious where all those rational, logical arguments don't really work. And I feel that this distinction or this realization has to come about for all of us. When you think about something, are you thinking about it from your prefrontal cortex, or are you thinking about it from your limbic system? And while I have to make it clear that this distinction is arbitrary, it does give us a useful parameter to think about how people think differently at different times. So if you know somebody who's going through an anxiety attack, you need to acknowledge that they may be going through a limbic phase. So what they might need at that moment may not be logical, rational explanations, but what they might need is simply love, support, and an assurance that you are there. So these were a few thoughts I had about anxiety. I'm recording this at 1:30 a.m. after my OPD. These thoughts weren't really scripted, but I hope that they help you. If you have any questions about anxiety, then let me know in the comments below. With that being said, I hope you're all doing okay. Cheers, everyone.